Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sankar, and today I have a really fun video today, and I'm really excited about this one because I'm gonna give you a proper studio tour of my music production in YouTube studio. I'm gonna show you and talk a bit about what I own, what I have, why I have it, and how I use it. So this video is gonna be very detailed. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna show you everything I got from my synthesizers to my studio production hardware, microphones, Midi controllers, monitor, computer specs, everything I got, even the lighting and the camera systems that I got. So I'm gonna give you guys a really full and in-depth video on how I produce my YouTube videos, on how I make my music, and the room and the space that I got for content creation. So this is my main studio space. And as you guys can see here, I have a 2-layer desk. So I have my main desk here. I have a second level here on my desk. I wanted a white theme for my studio, so you guys are gonna notice that I have a lot of white gear. I have a white Midi controller, white audio interface, white headphones, white desk. Even the keyboard has white keys. So I really wanted that nice, clean, white aesthetic here in the studio space. I'm gonna start talking about the computer because this computer has seen quite a few upgrades. So right now, this is a custom-built gaming PC. I built it myself back in 2020 and it's seen a few upgrades. So right now, it has a i7 11th generation, 32 gigabytes of RAM. It has around 8 terabytes of storage, so 2 terabytes main SSD. It has an additional 2 terabyte second SSD, and it has a 4 terabyte hard drive. And I use a 4 terabyte hard drive as an archive. So I have my main 2 terabytes for video editing and all of my software. I have the additional 2 terabytes for a few games and my sample library so that it loads fast in a SSD. And then the 4 terabytes that I use to store my old projects, that I use to save all of my music and everything that I need to save that I don't need to load often. So 32 gigabytes of RAM is perfect right now for video editing, though I do wish to upgrade to 64 or even 128 gigabytes of RAM. So right now, even though I'm running super fine on RAM with music production and I've never had issues loading multiple contact libraries, having super huge sample filled projects, I've never had problems with 32 gigabytes of RAM. So if you're looking for a computer, even with 16 gigabytes of RAM is more than enough for this type of work. I need more than 32 because I edit 4K video. So because I'm editing videos as well, other than making music, I need the extra RAM so that I can edit more smoothly. Continuing with the specs, I have a 3060 Ti GPU and I use it also for video editing because it's perfect. It renders super quick. It can run this monitor super fine. This is a 1440p Asus ProArt monitor. And I wanted a Asus ProArt monitor because it is color calibrated from the factory. It has a bunch of color modes. It has 100% sRGB. It's perfect for color grading, for doing light work. Besides music production, I do a lot of video editing work. And you guys are gonna notice that because I'm talking a whole bunch about video editing. And not only do I edit my videos, I edit the Black Lotus audio videos, I also do a lot of freelance videography. So I do a lot of businesses, documentaries, I work a lot. I've even done a few short films. I have a certificate in film. So I did study a few years film and I do work a lot other than music production on film. So my studio is a hybrid of a music production studio as well as a video editing station. So now that I talked a bit about my computer, now let's go in what you guys are really interested in, the music production hardware that I got. So let's start with the audio interface because I think this is one of the most important elements that you should own in a studio. And the one that I got here is the Mini Fuse 4. I recently did a video about it and I'm gonna do a update video on the Mini Fuse 4. It's one of my most recent purchases here for the studio because I used to own a Focusrite 4i4 audio interface, but that just completely died. I talked out I talked all about it in a video, so if you guys want to see more studio videos, definitely subscribe to the channel because I always am posting updates about my studio and the hardware and the things that I get. But I went with the Arturia audio interface because I wanted to try out and see how this interface would work. And let me tell you that right now it's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite overall audio interface. It works perfectly. It's super easy to use and the software is just amazing. I've overall been super happy other than the install, but I talked all about that in the video, so definitely check that one out. So continuing, this audio interface is powering my PreSonus microphone that I've got here. So this is a PreSonus PD70 microphone that I use for all of my videos when I'm talking. It's an SM7B style microphone, so it's a dynamic microphone. It's super awesome because I live in a noisy area. There's a lot of traffic noise, there's a lot of overall noise around me. So this microphone is perfect for just capturing my voice and having as little noise as possible. And right now you won't notice any noise even though I'm using the camera microphone because I'm recording super early in the morning when everybody is still asleep. You might hear a chicken or two singing in the background. It's completely normal. But continuing here, the PD70, awesome microphone. I do wish to upgrade, but I haven't found a microphone that I'm yet to upgrade. This one costed $100. It's been super perfect. I've do some light EQ work and I've never heard complaints about this microphone on my YouTube videos. So continuing, we have the microphone here. And to listen to what I'm doing, I have these ATH M50X. So these are some Audio-Technica headphones. These are super perfect flat headphones, especially for mixing and mastering. So I mostly use these just for mixing and mastering. I'm not often producing with headphones anymore because I've started to go deaf. I have a little ringing on my ears, so it's a bit uncomfortable to use headphones all the time. I'd rather use my studio speakers, which I'll talk about in a minute. But these are some of the best headphones that I've owned so far. I've had multiple studio headphones and these are great. And these were a gift from my girlfriend, so a huge thank you for her. These already have like 3 years. I have a case for them and everything. I changed here the cushion, the ear cushion here, I changed them to something a bit different so they're not pure white as you guys can see. They have this nice little gray cushion. Makes them look unique, and I have a different cable as well. This one is a braided cable from eBay and it's been working fantastic and I really love to mix and master with these headphones. So continuing, my studio monitors, and these studio monitors were a very smart choice that I did because this is a small room. This is a 8 by 8, so I have 8 feet by 8 feet in a square room. So it's a really small studio room and I didn't need powerful Yamaha speakers or I didn't need very big monitors. So I decided to grab these 3-inch monitors instead by Samsung. So these are the M30 studio monitors, the Media One M30 I believe. I got them like 4 or 5 years ago. These are very old, but they've been working super good. They have a solid low end and they have a bass boost option. So these aren't gonna be great for mixing and mastering, but when you're mixing and mastering, you should definitely use your studio headphones instead of your studio monitors. But when making music, these sound super loud, they're super detailed, they're super clear, so it's really great for overall referencing and making music when you don't want to have your headphones to avoid ear fatigue. And that's really important because you're gonna be making music a whole bunch. And using headphones for a long period of time can cause ear fatigue. You can get your ears tired, you're gonna start cranking up the volume and you're gonna start to go deaf. You're gonna lose some hearing. That's what happened to me. And to avoid that issue, I definitely recommend grabbing a pair of not expensive, because these weren't expensive at all. They were $100 for the pair. And it's super affordable. It's super easy to set up. You can just plug them right into your audio interface and you're gonna get some great sounding studio monitors for your setup. And I used to have them on my bedroom when I used to have my studio as a bedroom instead of having a whole dedicated room as a studio. So these monitors are definitely a must-have if you're gonna be making music and you want to avoid ear fatigue. Definitely check out the Samsung N30 studio monitors. So going down here, we have the Keylab Essential 49, and this is one of the oldest pieces of hardware that I have here on the studio, and it's lasted me so long. I think this might have over 5 years now that I own the Keylab Essential. And the Keylab Essential was a very important moment in my career on YouTube, because I got the Keylab Essential and he did a review on the Keylab Essential and I sent it to Arturia. I was like, hey Arturia, I got the Keylab Essential, it's really cool, I made a review, I talked great things about it. I still own it because it's that good of a MIDI controller. And Arturia was like, hey, this video is really cool, this video is super awesome. And then they decided to sponsor my channel. They sent me out a copy of Pigment and a whole bunch of software that I've done reviews on so that you can check out on the channel. So definitely subscribe if you like Arturia content and want Arturia tutorials and all that. But this was the MIDI controller that started it all because it was a genuine review. I was like, this MIDI controller is awesome. The one that I had before this was complete trash when put side by side with the Keylab Essential. And such an affordable keyboard. It's super versatile. So you have a whole bunch of controllers here on the top of the MIDI controllers. You have a drum pad, you have faders, you have here knobs. You can control your plugins here. With this controller here, you have a great keypad that you can use to play that's given me zero problems. I've literally haven't had a single problem yet with this MIDI controller, and it's super awesome, it's super great, it's super lightweight, it's super compact, so it doesn't take up the whole desk. I still have space here on the right of the desk, and it's overall been a fantastic MIDI controller. I think this is literally the best purchase that I've done here for the studio. So talking about keyboards, I have here my Logitech mechanical keyboard because I wanted the mechanical feeling, because I spend a lot of time video editing, I spend a lot of time on the computer. I wanted a good but affordable mechanical keyboard. And these have the Cherry MX brown switches, so they're not loud, they're not clicky, they're very comfortable, so you guys don't hear the clicking and the typing on the videos because it's a quiet mechanical keyboard. But it's super comfortable, it's super precise, it's super great to use. You don't need to get a mechanical keyboard for music production. This is just something that I wanted. And I wanted the option to be able to customize my keyboard here. So I have a custom keycap, as you guys can see, with the blue, the gray, and the white. So I wanted this cool little customizable theme here for my keyboard. And I don't regret it at all. Before this, I used to have a cheap T-Force, I believe it's a T-Force or Alpha something, and Chinese eBay keyboard. It was okay, it was cool, but then it broke. And I have the same brand mouse here, as you guys can see, some gaming T-Force, T-something, whatever, $10 mice. And I'm surprised that this mice hasn't broken, it hasn't caused any problems yet. For a $10 mice, this has to be the mouse that you can get, like the best mouse. I'm thinking of changing and switching to a Logitech mouse to keep the Logitech theme on the peripherals, but that's something that I'll think of in the future. So this is my Minilog XD. This is my first and only currently synthesizer, and it's been such a great synthesizer. Before this, I did have a Juno 106, was broken, it had problems, and I sold it for parts at Reverb. So Reverb, if you're watching this video and want to sponsor your channel and send out analog hardware, I'm definitely open for collabs and just reach out. But this is the synthesizer of my studio. This is what I use for a lot of my music production, a lot of my sample packs, and a lot of the content that I do is with the Midi XD, especially recently that I've started to work on trap content. This Midi has been a crazy switch and a crazy overall workflow change, completely transforming my music and completely transforming the way I've been just overall producing. It's made it so fun, and I've been enjoying it so much having the Midi XD, just turning it on super easily, loading it up inside of FL Studio and recording random sounds that I make with this synthesizer, because it's so versatile. So you have two analog oscillators, you have a digital oscillator, and then you have some analog filtering, you have the LFOs, you have everything on a 4-voice analog synthesizers with digital effects. So it's sort of like a hybrid synth. So you can create some really cool FM tones, you can create some really cool analog sounds, you can combine the two, give them some reverb, some delay, and some chorus, and you can get some amazing sounding sounds here straight out of your synthesizer without needing to post-process, because you already have some post-processing here inside of the Midi. And the other crazy thing about the Midi, and I definitely should make a new update video on the Midi, is that you can load custom wavetables. So here I mentioned that I have a digital oscillator. You can load custom wavetables into the digital oscillator, and you can load custom effects into the effects area here of the Midi. So right now I have a whole bunch of wavetables, like some really crazy wavetables that I've got. And the most awesome part here, and the thing that I love the most here about the effects area, is that I got a Juno style chorus effect here inside of the Midi, so you can get some really awesome sounding pads and sounds that I would get from the Juno here inside of the Midi. And that ability to be able to customize sounds here inside of the Midi is what it's the reason that I still have it and I haven't sold it. And I got it from the first day, like the day that Midi released version 1. I've owned the Midi XD, so that's been quite a few years. I do have a few problems. So right now one of the keys is broken, but I play it via Midi, so I have a Midi cable plugged in here, so it's not too worried. So that doesn't bother me too much. But one of the problems that I am having right now, and I might need to service this Midi soon, is because the intensity of the filter here. So if I want to control the attack and decay of the filter, the intensity knob sort of has this problem where it doesn't center, it assigns random values here. So if I want to use the intensity knob here in the Midi, I have a MIDI script here set up on FL Studio. So on FL Studio I have a MIDI out here that I created a preset for the Midi XD. So if you guys own a Midi XD and want this preset to be able to control your Midi straight from your DAW without having to move the knobs here in the actual Midi, which is losing a bit of the fun, because the fun thing about the Midi is being able to move the knobs and play around and create random sounds here. If you guys don't like that workflow or don't want that process, then you can grab here my preset here for the Midi XD with the MIDI out of the FL Studio. It took me a few days to create. It's really, 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 really detailed. It has basically every knob and every setting here of the Midi inside of the MIDI out. It's a super perfect, it's a super great preset for the Midi. So basically that's my studio. In terms of camera gear that I have a Sony a6700 that I upgraded from my a6400. It has a microphone, a shotgun mic that I don't remember the brand of the shotgun mic, but I'm gonna probably add a text here of the brand of the shotgun microphones. I have some JVM studio lights. These are the worst studio lights that I've ever bought here. And I have a newer cob light here. That's the best light that I've bought. So I have the worst and the best lights for the studio. And this light, I'm gonna turn it on so you guys can see how great the setup looks with the studio light. And I'm gonna turn this one off. So as you guys can see with the newer studio light here, the cob light, it has a softbox and it makes the videos look so great, like the illumination, the way they light up. It looks so soft, it looks so much better than the studio lights. And I just use these studio lights as a fill light or as a rim light or something like that to give me a little bit more light. It makes it look a little bit more professional. You guys can see one over here on the ceiling, which is used to light up my head over top with a nice little color, so it gives it more depth. It makes it separate me from the background and lights up the studio panels, which I didn't talk about. These are some cheap eBay studio foam that I got, 48 foams for $40, so it's less than $1 per foam. It does the job super great on the audio. So right now there's no echo, no reverb here on the room. I can talk very loud. You guys are not gonna hear barely any reverberation here inside of the studio. But one other thing that I have here on the studio that helps out a lot is a thick 1-inch carpet. So if you guys have a room that don't want to spend a lot of money on treating, or you don't want to do some expensive or complicated studio treatment, adding some thick foams, bass straps and all that, add some cheap eBay foam. Add a 1-inch carpet. This 1-inch carpet is a fluffy carpet that I got from Amazon. And just with that, you're gonna get a fantastic sounding studio room that you can record vocals in, you can record YouTube videos in, or you can talk and mix and have all of your music without a lot of bounce on the audio. And it's worked perfectly for me. As I mentioned, this is a square room, so square rooms are horrible for studio treatment, but it sounds super good. You guys have been listening me talk in all of my videos. You're currently listening to me right now on this video and how it sounds, and it doesn't sound bad in my opinion, unless you guys disagree, which just comment down below, and then I'll spend a whole bunch of money upgrading my studio. But I don't think that's gonna be something that I'm gonna do anytime soon, because I'm very satisfied with the results that I've gotten so far in the studio. They're right here. As you guys can see, I have a Walmart rack that I use to store all of my camera gear and all of my audio cables and all that. It makes it so that I'm neatly organized and I can access here with those nice little gray baskets. It's super nice, it's super organized. I have my charging station and everything right there for my batteries, for the studio lights to be plugged in. Everything is here on my rack. And that's pretty much my studio space. So this is a music production studio, a YouTube studio, a video editing studio. This is my office space for making content. So I want to hear your thoughts on what you guys think of my hardware. And if you guys want to learn of alternatives, so say that you guys don't want to use the Mini Fuse 4 and want to learn on what could be alternatives, or maybe the M30 studio monitors, you guys don't want that and want a different opinion on gear, comment down below what you guys want to check out or what you guys have in your studio, so that we can have a conversation and so that I can recommend different brands and different things depending on your workflow. So anyways, this was SoundKitter. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This video was super awesome for me to make, because it is a more personal video, as I am showing you my daily workspace. So what do you guys think about this studio space, and what you guys would change or what you guys wish to have in your studio space? Comment down below, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel and leave a like so that I know you enjoyed the content. This was SoundKitter, and I'll see you in the next one.